What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome back to the Bilingual Stock Market channel. Let's go ahead and talk about some stocks and about what is going on in the markets as of now. And as usual, or almost as usual, my friend Mario is going to be joining me. What's up, bro? How are you?
Hey, what's up, man? How you been? Thanks for having me.
Doing pretty well. Good evening. Have you been? Good?
Not bad, man. Not bad. Doing good.
There you
How about
go.
you?
Have you been taking trades to the upside?
I've been trading futures. Like that's what I did today, and I closed my
So
Apple
you,
positions, and I closed my real blocks position. And today I was on sidelines completely.
yeah, I have been taking trades with puts, but most of the
hmm
trades that I have been taking recently
hmm
have been to the upside, bro, because we are having a bear market rally. So this
hmm
is a bear market rally until proven otherwise,
Right.
and we need to take trades according to the trend.
Yep.
So in minor time frames, the bulls seem to be gaining control of
In
the indices.
control.
They already reconquered the 5-day moving average, but
Yep.
we are still in a major downtrend.
hmm
And yeah, we are going to be taking trades to the upside if that's what the markets require, obviously, right?
Yep.
So taking into account, Mario, that we don't have any more uh, very important economic data until
hmm
November 2nd, when we are going to
hmm
have the next Federal Open Market Committee. How high do
hmm
you think the bulls can push this tape?
I mean, if they keep pushing higher, let me share my screen so I can
Okay.
show the charts.
And let's say, and we are going to go over the Netflix earnings report in just a second. So
Mhm,
far, because the new earnings season just kicked off last week,
mhm.
when J.P. Morgan posted earnings. So far, the reports that we are getting are uh, better than feared, maybe, or acceptable.
They they
So
put
we,
the expectations so low, so
yeah,
now anything above it, market is reacting in a positive way.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That unless something very negative comes out next week and
Mhm.
tomorrow, because we have Tesla posting earnings tomorrow. So
Right.
if we keep on seeing most of the companies posting, as I just said, better than feared earnings, so we
Mhm.
can make the case that this rally could last until maybe November 2nd, when we have the Federal Open Market Committee. We also
Maybe.
have on November 4th, we have the jobs report of October. But
Mhm.
this is something. This is also something positive that is playing in favor of the Bulls. As
Mm.
I just said, the fact that we don't have very important or very sensitive economic data coming out
Correct.
until November 4th or until
Mhm.
November 2nd, when
Right.
the next Federal Open Market Committee takes place. And on
Mhm.
top of that, the seasonality favors the Bulls as well, Mario. From October 15 and until December 31st, from a seasonality standpoint, the Bulls are in control of the tape. And we all know
Mm.
that seasonality hasn't played out at all throughout this year, but uh, the seasonality aspect is on the table. And so far,
Right.
the Bulls seem to be taking advantage from it, right?
Correct. So
So
for
SPY.
now, things are not looking that bad. Like, I mean, I said this to everyone during the Thursday session. Like we even had a chat about it in in our last session about the big move like this to the upside always leads to a potential follow through, which is what we're seeing right now.
Mhm.
They killed it on Friday, but they never broke under the local lows, which was around 355 in SPY. And they just like came back down, ran a test, and then start pushing higher, absolutely ripping higher. And
Mhm.
today was an interesting day. They gapped it higher, the declining 20-day moving average, and they got rejected at that 375 area and then came all the way back down. It was a volatile day, like the swings are wild.
Yeah, we saw
Dow
we
Jones. Mhm.
yeah we saw a very wide range
Mhm.
throughout the trading session. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like a 80-point range in the S&P 500. So yeah, it
Yep.
was a very
Almost like
wide range.
80.
Yeah,
Almost
yep.
80 point range, and Nasdaq had
Yeah,
like
that's
a
a lot.
600 point range,
Hmm.
and Dow Jones had like almost 1,000 point range up and down. So it was
Which
like a
also,
wild session.
by the way, Mario, which also confirms that this is a bear market rally.
It is
because of the
because
volatility
like
that we are still seeing, right? Obviously.
VIX
Mhm.
VIX is still about $30. So VIX is still about 30. So it's pretty much expected to see
Correct.
like 2% move in either direction until volatility settles to the downside. And it's also interesting to note that even though we had like 2% upside continuously for the 2 days straight, VIX haven't moved that much to the downside because people are not
Giving
buying
up on
any new
puts.
protection. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are not buying anything new on the protection wise. So like it's just calming down, and by the way, people are not selling out of their put positions
Hmm.
as well. So
Correct.
it's just like staying flat for now. And if I want to talk about SPY, and if they
So do
take out
you?
the highs of today at
Correct.
275, 375 and change, they
Mhm.
can easily march towards the runner test at 380. But
Okay.
if they do keep pushing higher, I won't be surprised if they push all the way to tag that 50-day moving average, declining 50-day moving average, which was at around 390 and change.
Okay. That would be a very nice rally, right?
Yeah, from the
Absolutely.
bottom. Yep. Hmm.
That could also be the beginning of an ABC pattern over there. If we want to, if we want to see things glass of full for the bulls.
Yep.
So, but yet still, Mario, we still have a downward slope in 200-day moving average. So sellers are in absolute control of these indices, or are still in control of the SPY. So you guys have to be
Of course.
careful.
Yeah. Hmm.
I am not a put buyer over here, Mario, to be honest
Me
with you.
neither.
And I am
Hmm.
not going to be buying puts until we see an important level of support being broken. So
Correct.
I am not bullish on the markets in general terms because, well, bad news have been piling up. But in the short term, I am let's say trading this bear market rally. And if the tape pushes higher, then we need to be ready. We need to be ready to take trades to the upside, and that's what I have been doing for the most part. I did uh, I did buy puts today of the home builders ETF. It was a day
Hmm.
trade, and I also got SPY puts when the Apple
Hmm.
news came out about
Hmm.
the iPhone 14 whatever news. And but that those were day trades. I am not feeling that bearish as of now in the markets until something changes, obviously, right? So,
Correct.
in the case of the SPY, yeah, we're done here. Perfect. You already told us what are you thinking about the SPY. What about
Hmm.
Triple Q?
Triple Q. I mean, it's the same markets.
Yeah, same market.
Yeah. Unfortunately, wait, did they close under? Was it close at 271? Yeah, they closed under the declining 20-day moving average, but Netflix earnings helped. Now they're way above it. So by the way, it is if they open above it tomorrow, and if they take out the highest, QQQ can easily push higher to fill this gap at 279. And that is the bull case scenario, provided they take out the highs of today, which was at 277 and change. About 277, the gap fill at around 280 will be followed. And if they break about 280, they can run a test to the local highs, which was at 284 and change. And in case of the downside, they have to break under the 20-day moving average again, which is at 272. Breaking under 272 opens doors for running a test to the June lows, which is at around like 269 and change, where they bounced at today.
What would be your overhead target here, Mario, for the Triple
Overhead
Q?
target for
Yeah, if we
short term, for
if this bear market rally keeps on going on.
mhm. For short term, I'll be looking out for 284 if we
Okay.
push higher. And if they take out 284, I can see this lasting all the way to like 295 to 297 to the upside.
Okay. You aren't getting puts over here, right?
Now, I'm not a
Of
short
Triple
here.
Q.
I'm not short here. I
Okay.
just closed some of my Apple positions today morning before open. I'm glad I did because they just absolutely killed the tape and the premiums
Yep.
after the production news. So I closed all my Apple swing positions, which I opened on Friday. And yeah, I'm just like on the sidelines now completely. I don't have any open positions to either to the long side or to the short side. So it depends on where they open tomorrow. I might reposition myself.
What level of support would have to be taken out by the bears for you to feel enthusiastic about put options?
Technically speaking, today's close is not that good either if you take a look at QQQ. But
Okay.
if they break under 269 and start closing candles under 269, I would have been started being very
That's
cautious.
perfect. I agree on that. Perfect.
Mhm.
Let's go over Tesla, bro. That is going to be
Tesla.
the talk of the town tomorrow. So we have
All
Tesla
right.
posted earnings.
So,
I did some math.
b-
You know that I am a long term investor in Tesla.
mhm,
If you want to pull up the chart, um,
yeah. So I
and
thought,
I
yes.
feel I feel a bit optimistic. So guys, I have been investing in Tesla for 3 or 4 years. I am a bull. I am a bit concerned about Forex because Tesla sells an important amount of vehicles outside the U.S. and with the strength of the dollar, I am a bit concerned about revenue and EPS. But what the markets are expecting is a revenue to come out at $21.8 billion, and I think that Tesla is going to beat on revenue because I am expecting revenue, according to my math, I am expecting revenue at $22.2 billion. The most important metric that is coming out tomorrow, and this is a metric that really the media doesn't pay a lot of attention to, would be the automotive gross margin. So Tesla has the highest automotive gross margin of the industry, and I am expecting this metric to come out at 29.3%. That implies that Tesla is making a profit of around 29.3% per every vehicle they sell. And what the analysts are expecting in the case of automotive gross margin is 28.7%. But this is a metric that will not transcend into the big financial media. EPS is expected at $1.09. I am expecting $1.15. So I think that they will beat on EPS as well. And I am expecting 344,000 vehicles delivered in Q3. And obviously, the most important, I mean, what the markets are going to be paying more attention to is going to be guidance because so far in the last 2 or 3 earnings reports of Tesla, guidance has been very strong. And we don't know if Elon is going to change that perspective, right? That bullish perspective when it comes to the future of the company. And mind you, Mario, there is a very strong rumor out there that Tesla might announce tomorrow a buyback of 5 billion, $10 billion. They could do it if they want, Mario. If you take a look at the balance sheet of Tesla, they are sitting on $18 billion in cash and cash equivalents. They only have a long term debt of $2 billion. So they could easily buy back shares for 5 billion or $10 billion. That's possible. That is, I mean, if they happen to announce that, and since Tesla is trading as of now 44, 45% of the highs, I would agree with that position if that were the case. So I am bullish into the report. I sold covered calls because I want to have some sort of protection. And yesterday I sold 3 put credit spreads. So I have plays to either the upside or the downside. Let's see what happens tomorrow, right? Okay, but into the report, how would you be trading Tesla tomorrow, Mario?
All right. So let's go over the charts on Tesla.
And let me ask you, I know that you're not an expert at Tesla, but what do you think? They are going to miss? Do you think that the
I
strength of,
have
of the dollar will be very negative for Tesla?
Yes. I mean, not only for Tesla, but anyone who deals business globally, you got to keep an eye out
Correct.
for the
Mhm.
strength of the dollar. But we got to see how the sales were in case of China and how it's going to impact them in the future. As I said, the guidance will be more important. We got to see what he's expecting leading into the next quarter, especially like with the
And in
situation that's
2023
been
as
going
well,
on.
because
Mhm.
Tesla, this is a higher multiple stock, Mario. They need
Yep.
to reaffirm the guidance when it comes to growth. So this
Mhm.
company should be growing at almost 100% year over year.
Correct.
So if they happen to reaffirm that guidance, to reaffirm it,
Mhm.
and on top of that they beat on EPS and revenue and stuff like that, I think that we have a sizable upside tomorrow after 4 p.m. in my opinion. So we'll see what
Correct.
happens. Okay, but
Correct.
before the report, what are you seeing over here in technical terms?
I mean, they held on to the 220 support level today and also held on to the 5-day moving average, which is now positively sloping to the upside. And now, leading into tomorrow, today's high is at 230. Let me pull out the indicators. So, like to the upside, 233.50 will be important. Today, if they break about today's highs is 229, that'll be the next level that I'll be watching. And if they break above it, then like we can go run a test to this trend line, which comes all the way back from the COVID lows, and which was also held as support multiple times in the around the area of May to July. So they may be coming back up to run a test to this trend line. We'll never know. And after earnings, if they gap it above this trend line, they might come back to run a test to this trend line and then keep pushing higher all the way to 277 and change.
There you go. To the downside, $207, right? Would be a
To
line in the sand, which is the 52-week low of the stock.
exactly.
There you go.
207.50 is important. Breaking under it might open stores for that lows on Friday, which is at around 204 and change. Breaking under it open stores for 198.
There you go. Good. We are on the same page. Absolutely. Apple, Mario, what are you thinking about Apple? And then we can wrap it up with Netflix.
Apple, I was bullish into today, but I sold off my positions at the open when it was at around 145, 146 and change. So they filled the gap. That's a good thing, which was opened at the CPI dump, which happened on October 6 to 7. They filled the gap, and then the most important part is they closed under the 20-day moving average, which was negatively sloping as well, because like we had some sort of the news about the protection
iPhone
issues
14
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is some sort
So
of, I mean, a guy of my Patreon was explaining to me that this is the smallest iPhone. So that news shouldn't be that negative because that's not the iPhone that they are going to be selling the most. So I don't know. I am not an
I didn't see
expert
the
at
news.
Apple, right? So
So to be honest, I don't even know what the news was. So I didn't see
I
it.
took
But from
advantage of that.
technical,
That's the reason why I got SPY puts. And I got four puts. I was meant to buy only two. I ended up buying four puts, by mistake, and I ended up making $400.
That's good. Decent
That was a
trade.
nice mistake. But I don't think. I mean, according to what I was told today, this news isn't that negative. So that might not be
Yes.
affecting the stock a lot, right?
So I mean, as I said before, I don't even know what the news was like. So for now, 147 is still the resistance to the upside, and
Correct.
they got rejected and came back all the way down and held 140 level as support, 140.73 as support. And leading into tomorrow, if they break under this the 5-day moving average, which was sitting at around 142, and if they break under it and start closing candles under 140, that's going to be really bearish because that opens doors for 138 again.
138. That's a big level for Apple, Mario. Big,
Correct.
huge level for Apple, 138. Correct.
But you can't be bearish Apple, but bullish SPY.
Correct.
So if SPY keeps pushing higher, Apple is going to go up along with it. In case of bull case scenario, if they retake that 145 levels again, they can push towards the run a test to this local highs at 147. Breaking above 147 means they're clear to 149, 150 to the upside.
Yeah, if Apple happens to fill that gap, guys, up to 150, S&P 500 could easily fill the gap up to 3,800. No problem.
Yep. 3,800 might happen by overnight today.
Yeah, you never know. They could be pushing the tape higher. Yeah, overnight.
No,
like
right
thieves,
now, bro,
Mario,
it's just
like thieves in
42
the middle
points
of the
away.
night.
Yeah, it's just 42 points away. They'll do it overnight. Like no problem.
No problem. Correct. There you go. Netflix, Mario. What do you think about Netflix, guys? And I mean, neither Mario nor I gamble on earnings. Okay, we have been dealing with this business for quite a long time, and we don't do that. Okay. However, both of us know that many of you guys got in the casino with Netflix. So that's obvious, right? Okay. If you grabbed calls and you have a sizable gain, please lock in the profit tomorrow as soon as the trading session opens immediately, because this stock went up something like $30, right, Mario, after hours. So
Yep.
most likely we are going to see a massive profit taking or we're going to see massive profit taking tomorrow as soon as the trading session opens. So be mindful of that, okay?
So regardless of where they, I mean, how they open though, they're coming in contact with the declining 200-day
The
moving
moving
average
average,
as
that's a
well,
big
which
level there.
was, if they
Big
open
level.
above it, I mean, it's a different scenario. We can run a test to the 315 to the upside, but as long as they're under it, got to be very careful. Like if they're opening under 282 and change tomorrow, it's going to be a tough one, to be honest. Like they can just get rejected and they can just come all the way back down to run a test to this 253 again, which is a
Yeah,
potential scenario. Might not happen tomorrow, but something to keep in mind on.
yeah, because we have the coincidence, Mario, of a downward sloping 200-day moving average,
Mhm.
which is putting a bunch of downwards pressure into
Mhm.
Netflix, into this stock or over this stock, and on top of that, we have millions of people with unrealized gains as of now. So
Correct.
yeah, this is a dangerous combination, and we might see Netflix coming down substantially
So they
tomorrow
might,
as soon as the trading session opens. Yeah.
yeah, they we might just consolidate around this 200-day moving average like this, like how we did over here in the first
Mhm.
phase, and then the second phase after the gap up once they breached out of this zone.
Do
And
you
if they
see it?
just do it,
Yeah,
go
sorry,
ahead.
Mario. Do you see it pulling back down to 250, which is the previous resistance?
Not tomorrow, not by tomorrow, but I'm not ruling it out. Possible. Not
Okay,
by tomorrow, but
gotcha.
I won't rule it out.
Yeah, and when it comes to the report, do you have EPS and guidance?
Yes. So
Yeah, do
they
you have
beat
that?
on both APS and guidance, and apparently they beat on the number of users as well, which is a good thing. So let's see if they can hold on to it. They have this new ad based program to like separate subscription, but I think we spoke about this earlier. The revenue which they're making from it is not that much for
Hmm.
the size of the Netflix. So they beat on both estimate, I mean EPS and revenue. And but at the end of the day, tomorrow morning, if they gap it above 284 at open, they can push even further all the way to 300. But this declining 200-day moving average is an
Yeah, that's a
important
factor
area
of
to keep an eye
concern.
out for.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, they added 2.4 million new subscribers
Mhm.
versus 1 million estimate.
Mhm.
And I think that when it comes to guidance, can you please let me pull up here Thinkorswim, Mario?
Oh yeah, sure.
They, yeah, I think they missed on EPS and revenue when it comes to guidance. However, they have guided when it comes to subscribers because they are stating that they might gain 4.1 million subscribers in Q4 versus no, sorry, they are seeing Q4 global streaming paid additions at 4.5 million. So this is a metric about subscribers versus analyst consensus of 4.1 million new subscribers. So yeah, they are up guiding precisely on the metric that matters the most for the markets, subscribers for Q4, and they beat on subscribers for Q3, which is a quarter that they are reporting as of now. So yeah, this was a very acceptable report, bro. Yeah, very acceptable report. So do
It
you
is
think that
indeed.
the big money of Wall Street is going to come after this stock tomorrow? So that
I
maybe
mean,
Netflix could be pushing way higher.
and to be honest with you, like I would, yeah, I mean, if you're not in the trade yet, it's going to eventually come back down to run a test to this 252 levels. I
Okay.
mean, look at what they did over here. Like they were just like consolidating,
You want to pull up
and
the
they,
chart again?
yeah. So it's pretty possible scenario to have this come down to run a test to this 252 and change. So, I mean, we are in a downtrend in the broader market. So it doesn't have to be that you have to chase it right now at this level, which is like $20 above the entry price.
Yeah.
But they will eventually come back down. And I will go long if they hold on, if they come back to 252 and change and then hold that level as support.
Hmm.
Or I will like wait for it until it does. I'm not going to chase it
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah. The point that I want to highlight over here, Mario, is that I don't see this stock bursting above the downward sloping 200-day moving average and
I mean,
filling the next
bro,
important gap up to $315. I don't I
the
don't see that
problem
happening, but
is
it could happen. You never know, right?
Yeah, the problem is they might open about it tomorrow.
Do you think
So I
so?
mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
it's
yeah, they might.
easy,
Why not? But I I
easy
I I
because
think that we are going to see massive profit taking over there.
possible, yeah, very much so,
Yeah.
because it's still in a
Mhm.
downtrend on regardless. Even if they push higher, I mean, even if they open above and if SPY and QQQ is coming back down, Netflix, which is a major component, used to be a major component in NASDAQ,
The NDX,
It's
yeah.
not go it's gonna push down alongside with it. So
Yeah.
bulls got to do a lot of work. They need to have a lot of conviction to hold the
Hmm.
stock, hold the price above this 282 levels tomorrow. So let's see how they do it.
That's another problem that we have here, Mario.
Correct.
So um, I think that uh, most people believe that this is some sort of tradable bear market rally, but
Mhm.
I don't think that the markets have enough conviction in order to take Netflix,
Mhm.
back up to the $350, because we haven't had good news. And from
Mhm.
a fundamental standpoint, nothing has changed, like zero.
Yep.
We actually got
Mhm.
a very nasty inflation report last week. So
Correct.
fundamentally, nothing has changed. And
Mhm.
we are seeing a bear market rally that has to be treated as such until
Proven
something
otherwise.
changes. But so
Correct.
far, nothing seems to be changing. So
It is
there you
like, as I said before, like respect the trend. We might see some rallies like this. If you're not comfortable trading the volatility, stay on the sidelines. Volatility always reverts back to mean. You'll get your chance for your entries and exit. It's really difficult to trade at this moment. If you're a beginner, don't get whipsawed around, waste your money because
and then
it's
then
a tough market to
yeah.
trade.
Oh
So
yeah.
careful.
Don't get too optimistic, guys. Don't get too optimistic. So far, this is a bear market rally. There you go.
Correct.
So let's wrap it up, bro. I am going to be live streaming with you on Thursday
Correct.
for Chris Saints Discord. So
Mhm.
thank you very much for joining me, bro. Enjoy the rest of
No
your day.
problem. You as well, bro.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care.
See you on Thursday. Take care.
Thursday.
Bye.
Take care. Bye
Take
bye.
care. Bye.